Unicorns back at home. It's the final game of a 3-game homestand as the first place Worcester Bravehearts make their way back to the Rose City. Good evening, everybody. I'm Adam Plager, welcoming you to the Norwich Unicorns pregame show presented by SCR Structures and Sheds. A great night for baseball in Eastern Connecticut. Unity in the community, that's right. Plenty of groups heading out to Dodd Stadium. We can't wait to host everybody. Masonic Family Night entering Dodd Stadium. Also Cancer Night supporting the Echo Foundation. And that's right, the Norwich Unicorns back in those specialty City Connect uniforms for the third time here this summer. Norwich looking to get back on track after a frustrating start to the week, swept by their in-state foe, New Britain Bees. A shutout loss on Camp Day, 1-0, and then defeated yesterday 9-4 on Thirsty Thursday by the New Britain Bees. Let's go back to last night. Into the fourth inning we go, and we've talked about it with this group all summer. You cannot allow extra base runners. The walks have to be limited. No question, it has to be limited today against Worcester. Their offense far too dangerous, but a couple of walks to start that inning. Make your opponent earn their way on. Have to limit the walks, especially in this league. Opposing offenses are too good, and well, the New Britain Bees strike for 7 runs yesterday. 12 batters come to the plate in that fourth inning. They break the game wide open. Errors as well defensively. You look at the little details of the game. The walks, the errors, and then the fielder's choice play right there at home plate. Certainly when you look back at the inning, there were different opportunities to limit the damage. And then the big moment comes against Gio Conti in a bases loaded situation. Always a difficult spot to enter a ball game. You just have to find a way to forget about it. Jake Reisdorf gets the bases clearing triple. There was a hit batsman that inning, couple of walks, couple of errors. Norwich just got away from their ball game last night, and that was really the difference. But you have to like the fight in this group. If there's one thing you can count on, this team never quits on themselves. They never stop playing. And that is going to be a key for this group, especially heading towards the postseason. Let's go back into the 8th inning last night and look at these plate appearances. You talk about having a competitive at-bat, just willing your way on base. It starts with Jack Byrne with 2 outs. Norwich does all their damage yesterday with 2 outs in the inning. Jack Byrne legs out an infield single. And this is the bottom of the order. That's the energy you want to supply. Spencer Chard gets on. He draws a walk. Turn that lineup card over to the all-star Aiden Stern. Well, that's why he's an all-star. Continuing to produce for this group. RBI single. And then the little details of the game. You get guys on base, put pressure on opponents. Norwich does that yesterday. Execute a double steal, bring home another run. And then Chase Chaplin, that's right, he's an all-star too. RBI single for himself, but Norwich keep the line moving mentality. Just past the baton, Norwich is doing that. Charlie Walsh has a single for himself. You look at the competitive at-bats. Have to start that earlier on. When Norwich gets things going, they have quite an engine to their offense. You want to see that get going, especially earlier in games. Norwich trying to get back on track here today. It's the first place Worcester Bravehearts making a visit into the Rose City. We'll take our first time out on the Norwich Unicorns pregame show. On the other side, we're going to talk about the opponent, Worcester, coming here to Dodd Stadium tonight. Stick with us. The SCR Structures and Sheds pregame show continues in just a moment.
Looking for the perfect shed? Come to SCR Structures and Sheds in North Franklin. Whether you're buying or renting to own, we've got you covered with 90 days, same as cash, and guaranteed price matching on any competitor's advertised shed of the same quality. That's scr-structures.com. That's SCR Structures and Sheds, built right, priced right here in North Franklin. scr-structures.com.
Welcome back to the Norwich Scenic Corns pregame show presented by SCR Structures and Sheds. It's unity in the community. Norwich back in the city. Connect uniforms here tonight looking for a big win on a Friday night. Post-game fireworks following the ball game, but right now we're talking about the opponent, Worcester, making a visit. They are atop the Futures League and by a long ways, 32-11 through 43 contests. They've been the best team in this league, well, for one reason in particular, well, their offense. It has paved the way for them. Here's a look at those jaw-dropping numbers for the Worcester offense. You talk about batting average, Worcester batting nearly 300 this summer. Just video game-like numbers. You can't walk this team. We'll start with that. You can't gift this team runners. Walks, the airs, the wild pitches. You have to control that, or this offense will certainly start the merry-go-round express against you. They put up a ton of runs. They lead the league in runs scored, 310 of those. They're second, just by one off the league lead in doubles. You talk about all kinds of extra base hit power, 65 doubles. They lead the league in home runs, 30 of those. Yes, you can say, well, they play at Fitton Field and the ball flies out of the yard. Yes, that's true, but 30 home runs is nothing to scoff at. And they have double power, 65 of those, just one off of the league lead. And then little details of the game. When they get runners on, they run the base as well. Nearly 130 steals this summer for Luke Beckstein's group, 124 of those. They have plenty of eye-popping stats offensively. And you look at, well, how do you slow them down? It's about you have to attack. You have to believe in your stuff. It'll be Max Tabbitt on the mound for Norwich. Matt Tabbitt making his Norwich Scenic Corns debut. Big task for him. This is a dangerous Worcester lineup, and Norwich looking to match up against them. Well, they got some of their own power as well. Let's show you C.J. Nolan. That's right, the Sacred Heart product. He has been a heartbreaker this summer for the Norwich Scenic Corns. I mean, are you kidding me, C.J.? Yeah, 4 for 12 in 4 games against the Worcester Bravehearts. 2 home runs, 3 runs driven in, 3 runs scored. C.J. Nolan, a big piece to this offense for the Norwich Scenic Corns. A heartbreaker all summer. Not in the starting lineup tonight, but I'd imagine we might see him come into this ball game late. He loves playing against the Worcester Bravehearts. And then, how about Anthony Tirado? He's been getting it going for Norwich as of late. Tirado time, if you will. That's right, Anthony Tirado on a 4-game heater of his own right now. Batting .384 over the stretch. 7 walks. That's a key part for him. When Tirado has his game going right, he's drawing walks. It's a big part of his game. Just finding ways to get on base. You look at the box score last night, 2 for 2, on base 4 times. He runs the base as well. A couple of steals for him over this stretch of the last 4 games. Anthony Tirado, you better watch out for him. He's going to look to restart the batting order for Norwich. He's in the number 9 spot. And how about some all-star power? Aiden Stern, another multi-hit game for him. Roll the tape. Are you kidding me? 3 hits for the all-star Aiden Stern. Last night, a little all-star power on display. .555 batting average for him over his last 4 contests. Home run, a double mixed in there. Couple stolen bases. I mean, he is legit one of the best players. This kid is for real. You better keep your eyes on this guy. Everything starts at the top with number 1, the Trinity Bantam, Aiden Stern, back in there. He will be the designated hitter in the leadoff spot. Norwich looking to get it going here tonight against the Worcester Bravehearts. And how about sticking on the topic of our All-Stars? Norwich has 4 representatives heading to Polar Park on Tuesday night. They're headed to the heart of the Commonwealth. Norwich with 4 representatives, and also their manager, Kyle Dombrowski, will be a part of the All-Star Game festivities. Here's what the skipper, Kyle Dombrowski, had to say about his representatives heading to Polar Park and how excited he is for the opportunity to manage in the All-Star Game.
All four very deserving. Woot and Card have been awesome on the bump all year. They take a load off the bullpen when they're out there, and you can see the energy behind them. Really, just the lineup just loves to play with them on the mound, loves to go out and field the ball behind them. And then on the flip side, Chap's been awesome this year. He's hitting between 350 and 370, something like that this year right now. So he's been on fire. He's just a barrel machine. And then Stern's been probably our most productive and our best all-around player this year. You can put him in left, you can put him in right, put him at second, and he's going to work some really good at-bats throughout the day. He'll be able to steal some bases. He can hit the ball over the fence. He can bunt for a hit. He's just really dynamic. He's a coach's dream in that sense. But I think the last thing I got for that is just vote Jack Sweeney.
That's right. Let's vote Jack Sweeney, and let's talk about him. I guess the perfect segue for me. 2 home runs in his last 3 games. He's added plenty of pop. How much fun is it for you as a coach? You see him last summer. It looks like he's taken plenty of steps in 2025.
Yeah, that's the cool thing, right? Like, obviously, I'm not with Jack on a day-to-day basis in the spring, but we get him as a riser last year. You can see that the ceiling's very, very high, and even the floor is very, very high. So for him to go to school this year and really continue to develop and hone in on the things he needed to improve upon, he rolled in day one and looked like a much more polished version of himself. I'm hesitant to say he was a different player because he's a damn good player as it is. But he just refined a couple things, came back, and was a much more polished, well-rounded player. And I think, as of late, you're starting to see that show up a little bit more in the box score.
That'll take place at a pretty special venue at Polar Park, home of the Worcester Red Sox. You will be the manager of Team Smiles. How excited are you to get the nod to be the manager of one of the teams?
Can't wait. Can't wait to get back in Worcester. Spent a lot of time there this spring, so looking forward to it.
Great stuff right there from the manager, Kyle Dombrowski. It's going to be a lot of fun. Norwich with 4 representatives as of right now heading to Polar Park in the 2025 Futures League All-Star Game. Everything gets started. It's the Home Run Derby on Monday, 6:30. The balls are flying out of Fitton Field. And then at 7:30 on Tuesday night, the Futures League Best on display in the 2025 All-Star Game. We're going to take our final time out on the Norwood Scenic Horns pregame show. On the other side, it's another edition of Sweet Life with the Scenic Horns, and we'll continue to count you down to first pitch. You don't want to miss it. Stick with us. The pregame show presented by SCR Structures and Sheds continues right after the break.
Looking for the perfect shed? Come to SCR Structures and Sheds in North Franklin. Whether you're buying or renting to own, we've got you covered with 90 days, same as cash, and guaranteed price matching on any competitor's advertised shed of the same quality. That's scr-structures.com. That's SCR Structures and Sheds, built right, priced right here in North Franklin. scr-structures.com.
That's right, fans. You better start voting. Jack Sweeney, get him in. We want to see Sweeney at Polar Park. You better back Jack and send him to the Futures League All-Star Game. Get your fan votes in right now. All right, Scenic Horn fans, glad to be back with you on the Norwood Scenic Horns pregame show presented by SCR Structures and Sheds. As we welcome you to episode 3 of Sweet Life with the Scenic Horns. On episode 3, we're joined by Norwich Scenic Horns catcher Cal Chance. Here's what the young backstop had to say about his transition in to the collegiate game. Welcome to episode 3 of Sweet Life with the Unicorns, joined now by Norwich Unicorns catcher Cal Chance. Cal, thanks for coming on and doing this. Let's start with this. You just won a state championship at St. Paul to wrap up your high school baseball career. Tell us a little bit about that ending.
Yeah, no, that was just a perfect ending to a great high school career. You know, that St. Paul Catholic baseball team, that's always been a successful group, especially my freshman year. You know, with that group of guys, we won a state championship my freshman year too. And the differences between those teams really was that first freshman team, I didn't really have to do much, and they just carried me through that state championship. But then my sophomore and junior year, we built up a really good group of guys. And then my senior year, we were able to really put it all together for that second state championship.
When you look back at your time at St. Paul, your development from your rookie season to your senior year, how special was it to be around a group of such high caliber athletes and maybe some of the leaders on that team that helped pave the way for you?
Right. I mean, it was awesome. So my freshman year, almost the whole group of guys, they went out to play college baseball, and just being able to see how they went about their business, that really helped me to develop, and how they led the team. Being able to see that really helped me to implement it into my game.
It's your first summer here in the Futures League. You'll be headed to UMass Lowell, so I guess you'll be right back to where you were 4 years ago. Another underclassman looking to take another jump in your playing career. How excited are you about that opportunity?
Yeah, I'm just so excited. You know, especially being here, this is an awesome opportunity, especially as a freshman going into college. So I'm able to learn from these guys a lot, but up there I'm planning to learn a lot more with how I go about my business, working out and stuff like that.
In the Futures League, no question about it. Players continue to come in and out of. That's no different for the pitching staff. What are those responsibilities like for you, and how much pride do you take in being able to work and really understand every pitcher?
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing as a catcher, is to help my pitcher be better. So whatever I could do, especially on my off days, I go down and spend the whole game in the pen, and that really helps me learn who my guys are, what they need. Some guys need to be hyped up, some guys need to be calmed down. So being able to learn this pitching staff this early on is really good for me.
Growing up, have you always been a catcher? Were there maybe some other positions you played around the diamond?
I mean, I played a little third base, but I mean, I've been catching since T-ball, so yeah.
Is there certain catchers maybe growing up that you grew up watching that you try and model your game after and continue to take bits and pieces from?
100%, especially biggest ones for me are Yadier Molina, Salvador Perez, and then now more JT Realmuto and Patrick Bailey from the San Francisco Giants.
I think those are pretty good guys to want to model your game after. Final one for you. Playing in the Futures League this summer, maybe some things that you've learned about your own game and where you're trying to see your game take it to the next level.
Right. I mean, especially taking the jump from the high school level to the collegiate level. The speed of the game is a lot better. The pitching's a lot. That's the biggest thing for me. Even catching and hitting the pitching, just the amount of movement these guys have had on the baseballs. That's the biggest adjustment I've had to make.
Unicorn fans, that is catcher Cal Chance. Cal, as always, thanks for the time and have some fun tonight.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Great stuff right there from Cal Chance. And what a memorable high school career it was. Pretty special. State championship as a senior. He also did it as a freshman. He's headed to UMass Lowell. He's back behind the plate. He's got the catching duties here tonight for Kyle Dombrowski. As we take a look at tonight's starting pitching matchup, it'll be Matt Tabbitt making his Norwich Unicorns debut, the Amherst product. Here's a look at his numbers this past season as a sophomore for Amherst. 26 and 2/3 innings worked, ERA at 5.74, 18 strikeouts to the 14 walks, 3-3 record for him. He goes opposite the Rhode Island College product, Jason Potvin. 3-1 so far this summer for the Worcester Bravehearts. Over 29 1/3 innings worked. ERA locked in at 4.60. 30 strikeouts to the 15 walks. Matt Tabbitt makes his Norwich Unicorns debut, looking to lead Norwich back into winning form on this Friday night. A great night for baseball. It's unity in the community. The Unicorns and the Bravehearts are headed your way next. The noise is loud. But talk, that's never won a game. A swing and a miss, he struck him out. But staying on top, that's the true battle. The roster's changed, but the heart beats the same. The mission is still alive. This is well struck. It is hit deep out to left field. Good throw home. It's cut off. It's a tie game. A shot at number 3. 2-2. This is thrown to left field. It's going to win the ball game.